What is up, guys? Casey here with the Coyote Works channel. Hey, I'm out here on a winter camping trip and I thought I'd take a couple of minutes and show you guys a new piece of gear that I've recently been testing, evaluating, and ultimately on this trip made the decision to incorporate into my system. So this is the Cupid compact butane heater. Now, Josh is carrying these up at Overland, and what I use this for is I use it to heat up my rooftop tent. So first of all, it comes in this nice box. It's a good carry container for it, and it's square so it packs easy. Open the box up, and here is the heater. So to use the heater, there's a leg down here that you unfold. Now it's basically all set up. For fuel, it takes these butane cans. So basically you just slide the can in. Now to start the heater, it's really simple. You got this knob on the side, press it in, hit the igniter, and there we go. The ignition on this thing's super reliable. I've probably started it, I don't know, 20 or 30 times, and every time I've started it, it starts on the first click. It's actually adjustable, so right now it's turned all the way on high. I can back it off and turn it on a lower setting to make my fuel last longer, and if I don't need to put out quite as much heat. I've actually timed this thing. Temperature was about 24 degrees, and I turned this thing on its highest setting. So in my initial test, I ran the Cupid heater for 4 hours, 1 minute and 56 seconds on high off of a single canister. So my guess is that would probably result in about somewhere between 6 and 8 hours run time on the lowest setting that it'll go on. So this right here, one fuel canister in the heater and one extra fuel canister are probably going to be more fuel than you would need for a 3-day, 2-night trip, using it up in a rooftop tent or in a ground tent or something like that. So a couple of things I really like about this heater is probably the next most popular heater that everybody uses, myself included, is the Mr. Buddy heater. In comparing the Covea Cupid heater to the Mr. Buddy heater, the first thing that's obvious is the size difference. The Cupid heater is about 1/4 of the size of the Mr. Buddy heater. The same thing when it comes to looking at the weight differences. The Cupid heater, about 1/4 of the weight of a Mr. Buddy heater. When we look at the fuel canisters for each, we see a similar trend. The butane fuel canister for the Cupid heater is about 1/3 to 1/2 the size of the 1-pound propane canister the Mr. Buddy uses. When you compare the run times of each of the two heaters side by side, in my experience they're about the same. Either way you go, you get about 6 hours of burn time on the heater's lowest setting. So what do you get for all that extra size and weight of the Mr. Buddy heater? Well, you get a lot more heat output. The downside is, in my opinion, you get way more heat output than you actually need inside the average rooftop tent or small size ground tent used in most Overland style car camping applications. The Cupid heater, on the other hand, in my experience, puts out the perfect amount of heat to keep me comfortable inside my rooftop tent. There's just no need for me to carry the additional weight and bulk associated with the Mr. Buddy heater and its fuel canisters. In the world of Overland style car camping, where there's a huge premium placed on saving weight and space inside your vehicle, the Cupid heater has a clear advantage. So that's it, guys. I hope that was helpful and you enjoyed. Hit me up with any questions you might have about the Cupid heater. I got mine from Overland in Portland, Oregon. There's going to be a link down in the description below. All in all, real happy with this so far. As far as longevity, time will tell. I'll keep using it and I'll let you guys know if I have any issues with it. Thanks for watching. I look forward to your comments and always appreciate your support. And I'll see you guys on the next adventure. Coyote Works, out. And now please stay tuned for a very important safety announcement. So a quick word about how I use this heater. I'm not recommending that you use a heater in a rooftop tent, a ground tent, or any kind of a confined space, but I do use it inside my rooftop tent. However, I do not ever sleep with this heater on inside the tent. I don't close my eyes, I don't nod off, not even for a minute. I'm not saying you can't, but that's my rule, is I do not ever go to sleep. This heater or any heater is not on in my tent unless I'm fully awake and conscious.